trying to also chisel himself into the horse racing history books. Sonia, Joshua, and Jake wears that #1, and everything comes full circle. The same number he wore for his career debut at Saratoga.
Based on what Big Brown has done so far, obviously he's the Kobe Bryant of this field, but before he can be considered an all-time great, he'll have to seal the deal in about 15 minutes. As usual, he looks great.
The surprise starter in the bunch is #2, Guadalcanal, a maiden. Horse language for a horse yet to win a race.
In his last start, he lost by a nose at 1.5 miles at Churchill Downs. That's why he's here. A maiden ran 3rd in the Belmont, though, as recently as 2005.
We showed you Macho again earlier. Very good-looking gray, and Garrett Gomez gets the mount.
The West Point Thoroughbred Partnership includes 16 owners. All but one are here today to watch him. He was second to Big Brown at 39-1 in the Preakness. His trainer, Dallas Stewart, was an assistant to Wayne Lucas for 2 of Lucas's Belmont Stakes winners.
#4, Dennis of Cork, named for an Irish Catholic priest, and trainer David Carroll said, we're either going to make history or we're going to witness it.
And there's Robbie Alvarado. The Irishman Carroll said Dennis of Cork's 3rd in the Derby knocked him out for a spell, but that he's bounced back strongly and he's ready for a big race.
The first of Nick Zito's 2 horses, #6, Datara, and this colt has already faced Big Brown this year, 23.5 lengths behind him in the Florida Derby.
This time, Zito has been quoted as saying Datara is going to the early lead with the 21-year-old Garcia, who's riding in the Belmont for the very first time, owned by Bob LaPenta.
Hot horse here. People like him. #7, Tail of the Cotty.
Named for his sire, Tail of the Cat, and Canada's Ikati Diamond Mine, discovered by his owner, the legendary diamond prospector Chuck Fipke. 4th in the Kentucky Derby, Abar Koa.
Zito also has a Naknakal, and that translates in Indonesian as a troublesome, mischievous child. So parents at home, if you pick by names, surely here's an option.
And an omen, the Naknakal sire, Victory Gallop, the horse that defeated Real Quiet by a nose here in '98, and perhaps the most dramatic Belmont Stakes finish ever.
Remember last year, jockey Johnny Velasquez on Rags to Riches, now the mount on Reddy's Echo.
This horse is less experienced than Big Brown, just 4 starts, and here's something to watch. Reddy's Echo gets away from the gate slowly, drops far behind, but he has a powerful stretch kick.
And rounding out the field of 9 with the scratch at Casino Drive is Ichabod Crane. It is Ichabod Crane, by the way. That's how they spell it.
Jockey Jeremy Rose won the Belmont in '05 on a fleet. Alex rides in the silks of owner Earl Mack, the former U.S. ambassador to Finland. In the Preakness, Ichabod Crane rallied from last to finish 3rd to Big Brown.
Brown was the last to load at the Derby. Remember that? Now here he is, the first to go in at the Belmont. And get a little help. And, you know, greatness, it doesn't come upon us often. Perfection even more rare. Yet here we are. One moment in time. One chance for that ultimate prize. One beautiful and brilliant unbeaten athlete, and he stands at the crossroads of history and excellence. And for the call, here's Tom Durkin.
As the final horses make their way into the starting gate, Big Brown stands composed in post position #1, ready for his date with Triple Crown Destiny, whatever it may hold for him. Anak Nakal moves into post position #8. Reddy's Echo moves into post position. Outside him, and the final of them all will be Ichabod Crane. All standing beautifully in the starting gate, ready for the 140th Belmont Stakes. And they're off in a 30-year quest for the Triple Crown, and Datara, wasting no time, is racing to the front, and Kent Desormo is going to keep Big Brown not far behind as they move into the clubhouse turn. Tail of Akati has some early speed today. He's right up on the lead now, running in 3rd position. Anak Nakal is surprisingly close. He's now 4th. And Kent Desormo now trying to guide his horse off the rail and out of harm's way. He's 3rd, just a bit off the rail now. And it's 2 lengths back. Anak Nakal runs along in 4th position. He's taken to an inviting opening on the inside. A break of 5 lengths back to Macho again, who now runs in 5th. Dennis of Cork is 6th, about 10 lengths from the lead, followed by the maiden Guadalcanal. Reddy's Echo lingering at the back of the pack early on. Ichabod Crane trails the field as they make their way around that vast clubhouse turn here at Belmont Park. It's Datara leading. Tail of Ataki is 2nd, and on the outside, Big Brown. Big Brown is 3rd after an opening half mile in a sensible 48 1/5 seconds. So Kent Desormo waits. He waits with Big Brown on the outside 3rd. Anak Nakal just in behind him, and then it's a big chasm about 8 lengths back to Dennis of Cork, who runs along a distant 5th. They're midway down the backstretch run. The leader is still Datara. Tail of a Jockey right there second. DeSormo waits. DeSormo waits in third with Big Brown on the outside. 3/4 in 1:12 and 4/5 seconds. 5 furlongs to go in the 140th Belmont. Anak Nakal remains in 4th position. A break of 5 lengths. Macho again moves into 5th. Ichabod Crane is launching a bid from 6th. Around the far turn, a half mile to go in the Belmont. The leader is still Datara. Datara's opening up on the field now. He's opened up a 3-length lead. Tail of a Cuddy is second. Big Brown is third. Kent DeSormo's asking him, but he's still third. 3 furlongs to go. And in the meantime, it's Datara who's opening up, and Big Brown is plummeting as the field turns for home in the Belmont Stakes. Datara's opened up a 5-length lead, and Big Brown has been eased at the top of the stretch. They're coming into the final furlong. Datara is the leader by 5 lengths here. Dennis of Cork trying to reel him in with 1 furlong to go, and Datara ducks out. Now he ducks in, desperate for the final 16th of a mile, but he's going to do it here. Here's a shocking wire-to-wire win in the Belmont Stakes at 38-1. It is Datara. He wins by 4 lengths. The Triple Crown will remain vacant once again. Dennis of Cork finishing second, close for third, and very unfortunate, a desultory Big Brown has been eased in this race.
We will get to Datara's huge monumental upset, but first let's focus in on Big Brown. Eased up right near us here, Jerry, at about the 8th pole from in. Did you see anything?
No, he did get bounced around a little bit going into the first turn. He was a little rank. He threw his head up for Kent DeSormo, trying to fight him just a little bit, but Kent quickly got him out into the clear by the time he turned down the backside, and he was actually losing ground when he went to the far turn. You could see Kent asking him for a little bit more, and Big Brown wasn't responding. He didn't appear to be visibly in distress as far as lameness when he went by here.
If Kent had sensed that anything was physically wrong, he wouldn't have allowed Big Brown to gallop out from the quarter pole where he eased him all the way to the wire. He would have
no doubt about that.
Big Brown was actually a little rank early in the race. For one of the first times that I've seen, he just appeared to be a little out of sorts, Jerry.
You can see him right there, Kent DeSormo. Big Brown throw his head up just a little bit, fighting Kent DeSormo, something he normally doesn't do. He's a very relaxed horse. But quickly, Kent moves him out around number 7, Tail of a Cuddy, into the clear, and that's about it for that instance.
You know, this is obviously going to open up all the discussion about the quarter crack in the left front foot.
An injury that, as was